Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where here on the biggest football channel on YouTube, we break down and analyse all things football. And today we're doing Liverpool against AC Milan in these pre-season friendlies. Now, if you do want me to break down a pre-season friendly that I've not done yet, quite frankly, just let me know in the comments below, because some of the highlights of these things are really hard to find, and a lot of the highlights are just bad as well. It's somebody else in YouTube sort of jump clipping everything, so you get like a 2-second clip moving. But this is why we're doing AC Milan against Liverpool. And of course, Liverpool are in the news with all their transfer business this season. And it's interesting because everyone's, talking about the pressure for Liverpool next season. And the more I look at it, I go, the pressure isn't on Liverpool, it's on Arsenal. Arsenal have got a squad that should have won the Premier League, maybe was it 2 seasons ago, when they were so far ahead of Manchester City. They needed a striker. Everybody knows that. And they finally bought them like a year or two late. And their squad is getting to the point where they're going to need to start refreshing and rebuilding. And I honestly thought last year Arsenal would have won the league. It was, that was where I put my money, and they didn't. So it's interesting because Liverpool are going to do what they do, and with the squad and the new refurbishments of their squad, it's going to be what they are. But when you're all the champions, trying to return and win the Premier League is always a difficult task anyway. And we never know what Man City are going to do. I'm going to break this down more every week. I'm going to start doing like a Monday or a Sunday show live for about an hour, just giving my thoughts on what's happening on the weekends and on the team. So stay tuned for that. The more I get back involved as the season's going to restart. But we're just looking here at Liverpool, and it is pre-season, so this is a problem where you're trying to analyse it and go, oh, what's the issue? Because the issue is it's pre-season. And I'm going to show you this here, the classic example of pre-season running and full running in a game that actually means something. So you've got Van Dijk closing down, someone here from AC Milan, and it's casual from Van Dijk. You can see that. It's just slow. He's not really bothered getting there. The keeper's not coming out to sort of close the space down. This would have been swarmed, jumped upon in a league game. It would have been, and it's just not. More frustrating, though, if you're a Liverpool fan, they're very, very easy to be got at on the counter-attack right now. And I'm going to expose that all the way through this video and these highlights. Now, is that because they're doing pre-season and they're mismashing the team? What I mean is they've got like half their first team in the first half and half their first team in the second half, and they're not actually playing their structured formation. And that would be smart, by the way, if you're doing that. And if you don't know why teams do that, it's because then no one gets a good look at them. You can't see what they're going to do, and you can't sort of already start preparing for the season of how to play against them if you haven't seen them yet, and you don't really know what they're doing. If they're already showing you that in the first 4 or 5 weeks before the Premier League starts, the football analysts can sit there and break down how to penetrate and beat those teams straight away, and it's much easier work for them. The workload is much less as the season progresses. They've already got a good blueprint of what they're going to do to beat you. So as you can see, look, it's not, Van Dijk's not even getting close. And yeah, he's overrated, Van Dijk, in my opinion, but he's better than this. He's not this bad of a defender in any way, shape or form. Tackling with the wrong foot, going across the player, it's a quality finish, boom, top of the net box. But it's just lazy for me in Van Dijk coming across, and that's all. Is it down to pre-season? Probably. Again, here we're going to look at a little... see, this is the problem with these highlights for this pre-season. I can't really show you the build-up play because there isn't any. I can't show you it. So it's just a ball back. But this finish here it's a deft finish from Slobosai. But you can look at AC Milan, and AC Milan, you can say what you want about them, but they're pretty defensively solid. I mean, they don't give easy strikes like this away inside their 18-yard box. As the ball drops, you can see there's no AC Milan players close. He's got a little pocket of space right here, and no one is near him, no one's challenging him, no one's pressuring him. He just picks his spot, casually as you like, and which chips the keeper. Audacious from back out about there. This guy, Slobosai's got talent. I don't think Liverpool have seen the best of him in any way, shape or form. And honestly, I've heard rumours that they might even let him go, which I think would be a massive, massive mistake. I think that guy's a worldly talent for years to come. Again, we're looking at these rubbish highlights. So send links in the description below to anything that you think's worth covering, because these just aren't really good to sort of analyse and break down, because all you're doing is catching the last part of the transition. We're not seeing how Liverpool lost the ball at the other end of the field. We're not seeing positionally where Liverpool were and how the ball's managed to get here on a simple... I mean, they just cut through Liverpool, bump on the transition again. And is it just because of lack of pace at the back of Liverpool? Well, they've got pace in Konate and Van Dijk. Why is this easy? So there's so many other issues that you want to sort of address, but AC Milan are an easy. They really are. And then inside of the box makes it look simple, just going straight past That's too easy to beat a Liverpool player. You shouldn't. Any Premier League player would be embarrassed to tackle like that. I think it's Andy Robinson. I think it's just awful right there. Keeper probably should have done better, but yeah, it's too easy. Too easy to beat Liverpool. Again on transition, but we can't see how they've lost the ball and can't see why it's so easy for AC Milan to get in behind. But in behind they get. 3 Liverpool defenders, no one close to the ball. And honestly, this is a well-oiled, well-worked goal from AC Milan. The strike's just quality. All around this is decent. Doesn't mess around, knocks the ball across. No real covering centre midfielders there to deal with the player on top of the box, as we can see. And it's just a tidy finish. It is an absolute tidy finish. Dosh, straight in. Keeper's got no chance on that one. 3-1 to AC Milan. They're romping Liverpool here. When you watch this, though, there's 2 runs that are interesting and that are key here. We've got 1 and we've got 2. And also notice how many extra players Liverpool have got up front in the forward position, inside the 18-yard box. And you can probably see why they're getting beaten and hit on that transition so easily. Because obviously AC Milan have got their little line there. They've got their little line there. Liverpool have got theirs there. And their midfielder or any holding midfielder or anyone there is non-existent. Any player close to these guys here is completely non-existent. Where they are is out wide and up front. Basically, they're all playing out wide, up front, or a couple of defenders. Decent ball, but keep your eye on these 2, as I said. Watch as they start to run. Do we see that? Front post, run, back post, run. It's absolute perfect to perfection. Quality ball in, and it's a simple header, but it's just because Liverpool got too many. Look, unmarked inside the 18-yard box. They've got too many players forward. AC Milan really haven't adapted to it or put pressure on the ball, and he ends up getting a nice little cushion header into the corner. Quality header. Really quality header. But yeah, the movement up front, you can see it's going to be there from Liverpool. It's whether or not they can stop and shut that gap in between their midfield and defence. Here, Liverpool have got completely and utterly under pressure on the ball. AC Milan just are doing a good job hounding him. Don't know what the keeper's thinking here. He's way too high up. He really is. If you're going to be an option, the reason why you're deeper is because then that gives you space. That space equals time. Okay, you've got to remember that on a field. When you have more space on the field, you have more time on the ball. This pass here, though, however, is awful. Look at that. Knees on the ground. It's just it's just shoveling the pass towards him. There's no accuracy on it. Keeper's completely wrong-footed. And AC Milan are in for a 4th. Done straight away behind the keeper. And then it's just a tap-in. Liverpool look really, really ropey. I'm going to probably cover maybe 1 or 2 more of their pre-seasons up to the Charity Shield game. The Charity Shield game will give us more of an idea of what they're going to look like and what shape they're going to have. And maybe they'll have a new striker in Isak at that point, but we don't know. But yeah, Liverpool got some issues to work out. It might just be a case of they've got to pick their starting 11 and not a couple of the youngsters in midfield or whatever they're doing. But there's a load of reasons you do that as well, by the way, like I was saying earlier. But one of the other things you do is you're trying a rotational position. So, for instance, you know that this is your starter, but is the other guy your backup guy? Can he do the job as good as your starter? Can he actually hold his own there? For when you're getting into those, November, December, January games when the fixtures get crazy, can he come in and do a role and a job for you in there? And this is kind of those games that you'll find that out. But yeah, not very good at all from Liverpool. 4-2, and we'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.